there are 2-3 slides left. So before we move forward, we'll take further questions from the audience. Hello.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the hands to come up.
Okay, if it's good if there are no questions, then.
Yeah, I have question. Sorry, I have raised my hand.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Waqas, there's a two questions. Sorry, I know it's already a long discussion, and thank you again. So one thing that we have weekly neonatal MDT, and I have led most of the time myself, and sometime my consultant is also with us, like online, like we do in teams. So
Okay.
if it's a neonatal team and a community team, so certain language therapist, sorry, speech and language therapist, and the community physiotherapist, dietitian, lots of other stuff. So but we don't record minute of this meeting, so how can I prove it that I led multiple time?
Yeah, so somebody must have been recording, or if there is no minutes, then there must be some documentation of that. Because if you are doing a meeting for a complex need patient in which you are involving a lot of professionals, so what are you doing the meetings for? There is some agenda that you are doing.
But it's a routine MDT, weekly routine MDT to make aware a community team that which unit is ready to go for discharge, or what is the plan for that. So they should know. Yeah.
So you go to your portfolio, and in the developmental log, there is a section called meetings, and keep filling that I have. It would automatically take you that what needs to be filled. Or you can do a case-based discussion with your assessor.
Consultant. Yeah, because my consultant happy to do it, but I wasn't sure where I have to put it in that.
So you do that in case-based discussion.
Okay, fine.
Can I just add one more thing?
Please.
Yeah. So basically, we as a diabetes team also do these weekly meetings. So what we normally do is that one of us keep like a minutes ourselves, and then email it to the whole diabetes team as an email, and then you can use that email as an evidence that today in the meeting we have discussed all this. So if you email and then keep a record of that, that's also a useful evidence.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. This is also helpful.
Let me open, if I can find one of the meeting. Where is my meeting folder? So this is my meeting folder. Can you see this?
I just had one question relating to those meetings.
Yeah.
Can we use the MS Teams like links as an evidence that this meeting had happened?
You cannot use that evidence because before using that any minutes of the meeting, you have to anonymize all the possible data. So link will not lead you to anywhere. So you have to give some document. So these are the meetings which I have attended, and let me see which one is not showing any details. I think this one. So there's a TB meeting. So yeah, so that was a TB meeting which was done in this date, and there are initials of the attendees. So MW is me. And these are the minutes and what is the plan which we have made. So just to give an example, okay?
Okay, fine. And second thing you said, when we send assessment on portfolio to our senior or consultant, for example. So I can give you example like a safeguarding assessment, but we do select two domains. So one is safeguarding, and second one is, for example, communication or the professional, whatever. But for example, I ticked all the like level 1, level 2, level 3 capabilities, and the consultant although did not comment on that, but just comment on safeguarding, but sign it and verified it. Will it count it that domain as well?
Because so that will be counted. Yeah, if
that will be counted. Yeah,
as signed, then that will be counted.
Yeah, that's helpful, because most of the time my consultant they don't comment on those what I ticked, but they sign it.
I mean, they sign. Yeah, they should comment it actually. So again, so I have received evaluation feedback from the Royal College of my application. I not share that, unfortunately. That there is some sensitive information in that as well. So they actually have evaluated it very extensively. So they have commented on each and every piece of evidence, and that what is a high quality evidence and basic. They commented or that is a good evidence, and that is a So that's why I'm stressing on those pieces of evidence, that when I'm telling you that that is a very good piece of evidence, so I'm telling you with my experience, which the feedback I have received from the college and GMC.
Okay. So
Next question. Are you done, Kulsum?
so just one more thing, that like you mean to say that this is not a strong evidence?
I mean, if you, so basically they will be looking at,
Because you know why, because the
I'm
same
telling you,
consultant is looking is like supervising me. For example, for the last 4 nights I am doing nights with him or her, or during the long days she's with me, but I got a safeguarding assessment, I sent a safeguarding, meanwhile I sent some communication or procedure, I ticked their capabilities as well, and she signed, but didn't mention those that in the comment,
yeah,
apart from safeguarding.
yeah. So basically, what GMC will be looking at, I mean, what you have written,
Yeah.
and what reflection or feedback the assessor has provided.
Okay.
So if they
Okay.
just write short, non-specific comments like good,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that is okay, as compared to assessment in which your colleague has provided very detail on each and everything, every aspect of your assessment
Mhm.
what you have done.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can only guess that. I don't know how did they take my application and my things and the evidence I have provided. I don't know how they see it, but
Mhm.
obviously, if somebody write complete details, that will be better than just writing, good or
Hmm.
good. So one more thing is that when your assessor write that further reflection needed, and they send the assessment back to you to resend it, that does not create a bad impression, so don't consider that. So that
Okay.
can be used in one, in one of the domains there was an area which says that learns from remedy and all that stuff, I forgot.
Mhm.
So you can use one or two of that kind of assessments as well, which we usually try to hide it because the assessor has not given good comments. So,
Uh,
so that is signifying your ability to reflect and learn, basically.
but last thing is that by summarizing your whole presentation, although you did very well, so I would say if I might be able to do most of the stuff from my portfolio, what I feel today, I don't know, I'm right or wrong.
Very good, very good. No, you can. Yeah. So, are you asking or?
I'm asking as well and telling as well. I don't know. You correct me, please.
No. So yeah. So portfolio. Why I'm saying portfolio? Because portfolio. One thing is that it has been assessed by another person, which is usually a
Yeah.
senior. So that
Yeah.
is carries more authenticity.
Mm.
Although I will tell you in the next slide that each and every piece of your evidence, all the 1,000 pages, are going to be verified again.
Okay.
Yeah. So portfolio is a good piece of evidence because it has been assessed already, and it is comparable to the CCT trainees because they use the same thing. So if you want, you see the tickets or the assessment which the junior doctors send you, the F2 and GB,
Yeah.
SC1 and SC3.
Yeah.
So see, even if it is the case of a viral illness, so the other day I was showing it to my colleagues. So one of the junior doctor who is just an F2, she saw a case of viral illness with me and she wrote a reflection of 1.5 pages. I don't know how can one write that much information. So but that is good. So, I mean, that is good in a way that that is what these people want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but portfolio is a good piece of evidence, but keep a variety of different things.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It's very helpful.
Hannah is the next one to ask question, please.
So I was asking about triangulation of the evidence. Are you coming to that point or?
Yes. So triangulation is basically the same thing, which I've just mentioned, to get the evidence from different resources. For example, you are keeping a log of the patient, and you are all, also having a portfolio assessment of this for the same assessment. And for example, if you are doing, you have done a child protection report and you have also done a CBD of the same patient for a safeguarding CBD. So it is triangulation is basically it's a collection of evidence from different resources. So just don't give them only logs or only procedure, give them different pieces of evidence such as letters or certificates or reflections, logs. So different formats, basically. That is triangulation.
So it mean that I can use the same patient and I can use different types of documents in here, like reflective note, case report, safeguarding report.
Yes. So what I used to do when I'm doing a safeguarding report, so I also send the consultant safeguarding CBD as well, because that cut your effort down. So anyway, it's a long process of doing a safeguarding report. So you can use that in communication as well. And this for the same patient, you can take a safeguarding report as well, or you can use that as a doc discussion of correspondence, the same document you are using in that. And you can also do an assessment with your consultant, a safeguarding CBD. So that is triangulation basically. So other examples could be, for example, you have resuscitated a sick neonate in the theater or wherever, and you have done endotracheal intubation, and you have done a UVC, and then you started a patient on ventilator, and then you talk to the parents. So for the same patient, you have done a lot of things. So you can use a DOPS of ETT, you can use a DOPS of UVC, you can use a communication letter or a log for talking to patients, or end of life care or whatever, or withdrawing your resuscitation. Or you can also send assessment of ACAT to your consultant or senior that you have done the acute care management of a sick patient, right from the start to the end. So that is basically multiple, what you can say is multiple source evidence taking from multiple resources in different formats. That is triangulation. So don't just fill your application in a simple plain way. Is that
Thanks? Yeah,
helpful or
yeah,
not?
that's I want to know.
Ahmed, is Ahmed there?
Yes. Yeah, a quick question. Just wanted to ask about domain one. You mentioned certificate of good standing. So the first thing I want to know, where can I get it from the UK? And the second thing, if I got from back home, does it need verification or not?
So UK, you don't need a certificate of good standing if you are registered with a GMC. You don't need any other.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Back
Thank
home,
you.
Yeah, from back home, wherever you work, you need a good standing certificate. I don't know how will you get it. Depends upon your country of work where you work. And yes, it will need a verification. It will need, everything will need a verification.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Zainab?
Thank you, Waqas. So my understanding, they want to see the breadth and depth of experience in pediatric. And let's say if I started my application, can I collect in a clustered evidence on a short time period instead of showing the evidence across last 5 years? Say within 1 year, I can provide the evidence that they want. Is that applicable?
I mean, there is no straightforward answer to that. So it has nowhere it has written that you have to collect that evidence in this much period. Now, theoretically, yes, you can collect each and everything in 1 year, and then, but it always looks good to spread your evidence to 2-3 years at least to make it look good that you have been working. But I don't think so that you will be able to collect each and everything in 1 year. That is also practically not very, I mean, theoretically may be possible, practically.
So what I'm seeing, yeah, Khas, what I'm saying, let's say the last 2 years I worked in UK and I can retrieve what I can from the past, and then within 1 year, prospectively, I can collect the rest. So, but eventually the time it will show on e-portfolio. If I want to retrieve events from the past on the e-portfolio, it will show it started this year, let's say. So how is that?
No. So, okay, I'll make it simple. So at the time of your application, your evidence, whatever you are providing, should not be older than 5 years. So that's one thing.
Okay.
Number two, if you can provide the evidence of all the competencies which I have shown in the tables, these slides, then it doesn't matter that, how, I mean, it's theoretically, it's not written anywhere that you have to collect this evidence in minimum or maximum duration. As long as you are providing this evidence for all these competencies, it doesn't matter much that how much duration you have collected it. Yeah, unless it should not be older than 5 years. So if you can collect it in less time, that is okay. I mean, uh, that it's there's no I didn't find anywhere that it should not be. I mean, there's a limit. There's a minimum limit of that. I didn't find that anywhere.
Oh, great, thank you. And one more thing is regarding previous events. Let's say I started now and I want to retrieve from the past. Is that doable?
So if that evidence is in your portfolio, then it will stay there forever, and you can download it, even the evidence of 3 years back. So that doesn't matter. If it is not in your portfolio, even then, if it has not expired, or if it's not more than 5 years, then you can definitely use that. I hope I have answered the question. Is that what you are asking?
Okay. So next question is from Hafiz Server.
Yeah, my question is, we regularly attend MDTs. Some MDTs we are also lead as well. How we should be reflecting these MDTs and clinics while providing the evidence? Would it be a number that we are regularly leading MDT, or there must be the minutes of that MDT? And what about the clinics which we do regularly?
So your question is that, is there a minimum number for MDTs or your clinics, what you are doing?
No, like we do MDTs. Should we be providing them the minutes of every MDT we attend?
I mean, what evidence will you provide? What else you will provide as evidence? So not every MDT, what you think is good, in which you are leading, which is sounding good, it's an interesting case. So you cannot dump your application. That's what we call as triangulation. So you cannot dump your application with one kind of evidence again and again and again and again. So you have to provide a variety of different things. So yes, if you are leading MDTs and if you are doing MDTs regularly, it is good, but that is only an evidence of communication or leadership. So you cannot use only MDTs or lot of MDTs. That will not compensate you for in other areas. And there is no minimum number of, or there is no maximum number.
Okay, like it means we should be reflecting in our application where there was some complicated case or something
No.
that was.
No. So they need an evidence that you have been a leader in a multidisciplinary meeting. So you were the leader and you were collaborating the patient care among them. Doesn't matter whatever the case was. This is just, I am suggesting you, then if you want to choose in among different meetings, that's how you can choose it. But you need to provide the evidence. Let me see. So what does it say in MDTs? Where did that go? So you see, are you seeing the screen?
Yeah, I can
It
see
says
it.
leads MDTs and applies communication skills in a range of environments and situations with children, young people, and families, including in challenging circumstances. Okay. So MDT meeting notes demonstrating active role in leading MDT. So that is what you have to provide. Sorry. That is what you have to provide. Now you choose how you are going to provide that. So meeting of the minutes of the meeting is the easiest way to do that, because that says that what happens during the meeting, what kind of professionals were involved in the meeting, and what did you do. So you are basically providing the evidence of what you have done, and you qualify for this competency, being a leader in a MDT. It doesn't matter what is what is what was the case, what was the individual case.
Okay.
But the minutes of the meeting should show that you are the leader in that, or active role in that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next, please. Any more questions?
I have raised my hand.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask, because I'm working in a very compact unit. So we just have three consultants working in neurology. So probably most of my competencies will be signed by them. So I was just wondering if most of the competencies are signed within three consultants. Is that all right? Does it matter?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Most of my competencies have been signed by 2 or 3 consultants. So
Okay.
I think it should be okay.
Yeah, and the other question I had was that I'm probably going back to India in some months, and I have some evidence that needs to be collected from 2019 if I want to make an application next year. So I was just wondering, is there anything, I mean, is there some way where we can actually authentically collect the evidence and then have them on the letterhead, or do we need work-based assessment, CBD from India? How do we do that?
No. So if you read all the specialty specific guidance and other documents, they say that they acknowledge the fact that other countries outside UK, they don't work in a similar way of learning. So this learning, portfolio-based learning or supervised learning, is particular to UK, Ireland, and some other countries. So they acknowledge this fact, and they don't expect you or ask you to give a work-based assessment evidence for even for your retrospective experience. Now you think you see that how can you collect evidence from your country back, your previous work. So whether it should be a DOP or whatever you can get. But I know back home we don't work, we don't do these assessments because we don't maintain a portfolio. So what are you going to take from India?
Probably there are some cases, and then we have done most of the neurophysiological procedures there, and case-based discussions, and mainly the presentations which I have done there, and seminars and many MDTs which I attended. So
if you can get the evidence, so for example, presentations will be there. If you can get that will be very good. If anyone has maintained a record of the meetings, doesn't matter if it is manual on paper or not on computer, that is, you can use that as an evidence as well. If you have done any publications or posters or any teachings back home, you can use that as an evidence. But whatever is in the written form, you can use that as an evidence. So and if it's not more than 5 years from the date of your submission.
Okay, yeah, because most of them I have written myself, and I have taken pictures of those things, so I have data.
You can use that. So what happened, I'm going to show you in the next slide. So these evidence you have to give. Okay, I will talk about that when we move to the next slide, because that is another
okay, no problem.
Thing which we need to discuss. Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I have another question, please?
Yeah.
Actually, I moved to UK. Yeah.
I cannot see the screen. So Jamil, is Jamil there or has left already?
Yeah, we can see the screen.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So go on. Go on.
Yeah, my question is like I am working in this specialty oncology for last 5 years. In between, for 6 months, I worked as a medical consultant. It was my relocation from Pakistan to England. Uh, what that 6 months will be counted as? Either it will be considered just a gap, or how that will be counted?
Sorry, I didn't understand. So during that 6 months, were you working or you not working?
I was working as a medical consultant.
Yeah, so that is okay.
So he was working in a different specialty because
No,
not in
that also doesn't matter much as long as you are giving a competency. Now you have to read your own specialty specific guidance of I don't know anything about oncology, but for 6 months, if you are in a different specialty and some of the, for example, if you have done a publication there, for example, if you have done an audit there, so they will be assessing your that ability so that you can use that evidence in the quality improvement domain. You can use research domain. So that is so some of the evidence is actually non-specific. So as long as it is signify, coming into that domain, and you can provide the evidence of that particular competency, it's fine. But again, as I say, I don't know about anything outside pediatrics, so you have to
I think they should better email GMC on this, because as you said, that some of the evidence may be generic or basic, like not specialty specific, but GMC probably would be the right person to answer this question correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Is that all? Oh, 6 participants.
I have got one question, but to be honest with you, I'm very happy for you to continue, and then we can ask all the questions at the end, because I don't want to interrupt the line of thoughts and my other colleagues as well.
Can I just, sorry, can I interrupt if it's okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it might be like unrealistic questions, but if there is any way that before we submit the application will be reviewed by a colleague or someone?
You can ask one of your consultant colleagues. So I suggest you all who are working or planning to work on their applications to get a supervisor who will be reviewing your applications, or you need to have a mentor or a supervisor anyway. So just doing everything on your own will probably lead you nowhere. So get a mentor, get a supervisor, and discuss these things with them. But I don't know of a service which can which is active and actively reviewing the application of the candidates. Probably we can start that as a future project with Dr. Sadia, and we can think of that doing in the future.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wakwas. I hope I got the pronunciation. My name is Chinonya Ike. I want to know if you've been working in a particular specialty for a long time, for like say 3 years, and you've not really been into the general pediatrics. Will it be more appropriate to apply for CESR in general pediatrics or in the subspecialty where you've been working for some time?
So I would suggest that, apply in a specialty where you are working in. So that way it's easy to, already the process is so complex and complicated. It's not an easy process. Even if you are working in the specialty which you have been working all your life, still the process is not easy. It's quite complicated. So if you are working in a different specialty and applying in a different specialty, it will complicate the situation more. So I would not suggest that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that it's better to apply in that subspecialty where you've been working for some time and you intend to continue working.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you so much. But the differences, are they so much, or would there be just slight differences, or would they follow the 11 domains that you mentioned?
Sorry, I did not catch that.
Okay, I know you might not be very conversant with particular specific specialties, but the differences between applying in general pediatrics and applying in subspecialty, will there be a lot of differences, or can we still follow these templates and guidance that you're giving us for general pediatrics?
No, there is a specialty specific guidance on the GMC website for most of the specialties. So, what I am guiding you or suggesting you or advising you is only relevant to general pediatrics. So please don't take it as a generic thing, or yes, you can use some of the things which, as I mentioned earlier, can be non-specific and can be used in other specialties. But what we are talking today is only about general pediatrics. So I would suggest, if you for subspecialties, you contact GMC. That's the safest advice I can give.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
we have previously discussed that subspecialty CESR is a bit more complex. It's not as straightforward as general pediatric CESR. So yeah, GMC and the Royal College RCPCH is probably the right people to answer that question. If someone wants to get to the SAS committee, yeah, they can actually contact the SAS committee administrator, Charlotte Hughes. The email address is on the website, so we can look into this further, please. Thank you.
Even CESR in general pediatrics is very complicated. It's not straightforward. So it took me years to understand what they actually want. So we will complicate it further if we think about working in one specialty and applying for a different. So that is too complicated. So I think we will stick to the specialty which we are working in. All right, next.
Just one question. I promise it won't be more than one question. Okay. So in terms of anonymized court reports, that has always been my grouse.
Yeah.
Let's say that you've never been involved in any court case, but you've attended a lot of webinars, paid courses. You've gone for like a mock course where you went to court. Are those things that you can evidence, or do you definitely have to have?
So there is no harm in submitting whatever you have. The maximum thing is they will reject your evidence or not consider it as good as it should be. So there is whatever you have, submit it. But you need to have a court. I mean, it is advisable. So if you are not involved yet, so get yourself. That's why I'm telling you to make folders in your laptop, so that you can reflect that what you have and what you have not, and keep work. So try and start working from there. So don't just non-specifically collecting, filling your portfolio with CBDs and an MSF and DOPS. So reflect on what you don't have and try to get that. I mean, at the end, for example, I was telling you, even after trying at the maximum, I could not get involved in a case of SUDIC, that sudden and unexpected death. But they still accepted my application. So if you are generally thorough and provide evidence of almost all of the other things, one or two things I guess can be omitted.
Okay, it's just that unless, of course, you have been directly involved in a case that takes you to court, isn't it? Then you may not get that opportunity where you go to court after all. So
you can actually, almost every other safeguarding case, there is an opportunity to go to the court, and you can volunteer as well. I mean, you can be, you can have a small role. For example, you just, saw this patient and referred to another colleague, but still you have a role in that. So, okay. So it doesn't necessarily that you have been the main safeguarding lead or anything like that. So,
so let's go for safeguard friends. There are kind of situations where you have the police, you have everyone involved, and you are discussing this, they still wouldn't make up for not going to court, isn't it?
No, so that's what I'm saying. So no, that is that you can use that as evidence, medical legal thing. So that's what I'm opening that slide now.
Okay.
So if you see the first thing, anonymized medical reports or witness statements. So witness statement is also one thing, in which you don't have to go to the court, but you give your statement. That can be in a safeguarding case, or that can be in a case in which a patient has died, or that can be in a case in, for example, a HIE in baby. So we are opening the investigation and asking you that what has happened that day. So you can give your statement that you were registrar or an SHO or whatever, and then you did this, and then you passed on to the next shift. So even that involvement is an involvement. So what you are giving evidence of is that you know the medical legal bits of things, and you know what to give as a witness statement. So you should not hide fact, and you should be unbalanced in your opinion. You are only providing the facts and not the what do you call that, interpretation of facts. So you don't have to interpret the facts, you have to present the facts only. So that is what you are providing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, next please, if there is any.
I raise my hand if that's okay. It's Yasmin. Congratulations, Dr. Wakas, for your achievement. But I just wanted to comment on two things and ask one question. Because I have attended the recent meeting the GMC ran, and I think what you have done so far, it's really great. And we don't need to, what I need to comment is we don't need to provide each evidence mentioned in the table. So you can see that they said the evidence you can provide, but you don't need to provide everything. So maybe you can choose one or two or three from each evidence they showed you in the table, but you don't need to provide each point with each evidence. This is the first thing. The second thing is when you apply for subspecialty, the effort is the same as when you apply for general pediatrics. So not each equal. So the same process, the same, but it's just different evidence, the different way of how you provide the evidence. I would just suggest, because we have like subspecialty groups, like as trainee, for example, if you are applying for, because I am applying for pediatric oncology, for example, so they have like special group, like a trainee they run, and they do like subspecialty CESR application. So if anyone interested, they just need to go and ask trainees if they have any special group, so they can maybe join. My question is, I know that we are run out of time, but I think it would be very helpful if you can show us how you uploaded your evidence to the application. And this is actually very important when we organize our evidence, how you did it, how you put things in the online application. That's the most important bit, which we really actually struggle rather than going through the document. It's already provided by the GMC. So if we can't do that today, would you mind to do other session to show us?
Yeah, so that is so that is the next slide. I will move to that if there's no further questions until now. If there are no more questions, is Dr. Sadia there? Or I think
yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Are there any questions in the chat box, Dr. Sadia?
No, as far as most of them are already answered.
Okay.
It's just there was one more that about details about authentication and verification of evidence. So
coming on
through those things, yeah.
All right, okay. Oh yes, now I can open the chat box, and it's all